And welcome everybody to the newest episode of Adapted, episode number 76. I'm your host today, Chad. I'm joined by Sweeter, Jason, and Amy today. Tristan is off on vacation filming a brand new Marvel film, so we can't talk about it.
Yeah,
he's top secret.
He's like consulting with Marvel on how to make the movies more fanboy friendly.
Yeah, so Tristan will not be here. I'll be your host. I'll try and get us through this bad boy here. And I want to start things off with Game of Thrones, episode number 4, Book of Stranger. Mostly because we have Amy here, and she's like the resident Game of Thrones guru. She's just, don't even look at me like that, folks. She is reading through the back history of Game of Thrones, like 1,000 years prior to Game of Thrones or something like that. Ancient time stuff, dude.
The dawn of the world.
Yeah, dude,
Ice
don't
giants and the children of the forest.
Don't try and slap me around,
the first
dude.
men, and then the Andals, and then the Targaryens, and all that jazz.
Targaryens, let's open up with the Targaryens, dude. Mother dragons. Lighting shit on fire, dude.
That was amazing.
Okay, I have the biggest question about that. Okay, did they go in and pour oil in that house first? Okay, because otherwise I was like, how the fuck is
Maybe
this?
there was oil in the cauldrons that they were burning.
That's what I thought too. I thought they were big things that were like torches lit with oil, and they kind of spilled.
I thought it was just like wood or something, and I was like, how is this fire like sentient? Like, how is it like moving across the floor? But that makes a lot more sense if there was like oil in them or whatever. Because I was just like, did they douse this place with oil first? Oh, but then how did nobody notice that? And okay, cool, gotcha.
Yes, I mean, they're sneaky dudes. I mean, they snuck into the village. They could sneak in there and dump a little oil around.
So maybe it was a little bit of both, perhaps.
I mean, that was the part that was like hard to believe. Like, they're in the city of all of these people, and dude, they're unseen.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, we're some merchants, and then like, he's getting his ass kicked.
Well, she's another thing too. Ser Jorah would not get his ass kicked like that. Like, he's one of like the better fighters out there. I was kind of like, wait, why are?
Well, that was one of the elite fighters of that tribe. So
of the Khal or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he was known by the leader of the Khal as like one of the better fighters. So I mean, it lent a little bit to him. And but it was funny. He's like, yeah, he's such a good fighter, but he got his head smashed in by a rock. He sucks dick.
Okay then.
That's kind of what he said, but
yeah, you're paraphrasing it, but yeah.
Yes.
Amy had another big thing. I don't know if I want to bring it up, but she had a big thing about Daenerys' hair not lighting on fire and burning off.
It never does, right?
But it didn't in the first one either.
They didn't in the first season either, and they didn't in this season, so they're being congruent with it. But then at the same time, I was talking to Chad. I'm like, well, why then did her brothers, like, why did, if it's like heat, fire resistant hair, and that's the thing that the Targaryens have, why did the brother, like, getting the gold melted on his head even harm him if they're immune to fire? So I was kind of like, because in the book, which I know it doesn't follow the book, I get it, her hair does burn off.
Oh, interesting.
She's not immune to the fire, and my thing is, which Chad was like, oh, Amy, I don't want to bring this up, blah blah. And I think it was just kind of maybe a decision that perhaps they were maybe thinking that, oh, she won't be as attractive if she has shorter hair. And I was like, that could be why they chose to make that decision for her hair not to burn off then or something. I don't know.
I was just thinking that every part of her being was her specifically, not her brother, who was maybe didn't have as much Targaryen blood.
Because I don't remember his hair necessarily burning off. I just remember his entire face getting covered in the metal, and I assume that he just died because the metal like went in his mouth and closed all his holes, breathe. And he died right away. Yeah.
Yeah,
that could be it.
Yeah, the mask, dude.
Yeah, like the golden mask. I don't know if it's hair, but I think it's a good visual, like with the hair. Maybe that it ties into like her walking out with like her like long hair, like kind of just like flowing in the fire, and it's pretty damn strong visual.
Right. So everybody always calls like her. They always say she has white hair, so it's like.
Yeah.
So do you think they now accept her as the leader? Even though I was telling Amy, I'm like, fuck, man. I think she said, yeah, they're in like shock. But I was like, why wouldn't they just fucking storm that motherfucking place and just rip her to shreds? These guys talk about being the most brutal, most badass dudes out there, and they're just like, oh my god, it just burned down. And
now they're leaderless, right? So it's just
like all the strong dudes are gone, right? It's just like
Yeah, but there's such a culture of constant fighting, constant battle. Who's the strongest? And then there'd just be new strong leaders, like the people in the
Well,
cow who
let's
are like,
remember that the Mother of Dragons is still in the walkway with the flames surrounding her. So, hey,
I
jump
get
in
it.
the fire. Hey, hey, maybe next week we'll see, if the smolder now and some guys are going to get in there.
Yeah, at least the initial
Dragon-
shock. Holy fuck.
Right, now maybe the dragon sees the fire dude and comes back to the mother. Who knows?
I think that would be probably the best way for that to like sink, because if all of the Khal Drogo, like whatever, the Khal's men were trying to like they always try to like one up each other to become the head. I think you made a very good point, Sweeney, that the Dragonite would be a good way to cut that off at the head, because if the dragon's back, they're gonna be like, oh shit.
Dude, if that dragon lands right behind her with the flames going, dude, and it's just like, boof,
That'd be pretty rad.
that would be fucking amazing, dude. So we got Mother of Dragons torching the Khal down, taking ownership of that, which I didn't think was gonna happen. Like I thought she was just gonna escape, and like I didn't see what was gonna happen. So we got that, dude, and we also got some Starks reuniting together.
Yeah.
Which kind of totally surprised me, mostly because I'm
We
sitting
knew
next
that
to
she was
Amy.
going to eventually
the
make
bookie.
her way.
Well, I thought she'd die, dude, and that's the thing is like,
Oh, really?
Season feels like they're not killing like the people that we care about yet. Like they haven't, and we're already 4 episodes in. I feel like someone that we cared about should have died.
I thought that they were gonna like pass each other. Like it would have been something like Sansa gets to the wall and then Jon's
He's
already
leaving.
gone. Yeah, that's so I was surprised too, because I was like, wait, that's what? They never get to like have happiness happen. Like happiness.
Which only means something terrible is gonna happen.
True. Yeah, I'm sure.
Because you only can get a good moment for so long before she's cut in half.
So I was just gonna say, do you think she dies?
I feel like yes.
Sansa dies?
I think Ramsay's gonna do her in.
No way.
Or
dude.
or it might be something with Rickon. Like they're gonna.
Rickon's like worthless, dude. Rickon.
Yeah. Like
he's
she
an
maybe she will
expendable
die,
character.
but then yeah.
All
I
of a
think it's
sudden-
gonna be.
She's all of a sudden like the bad mamma jamma dude. But you know the thing that was crazy was when Jon Snow went to hang old Alistair. What do you say? I fought and I lost. Which is the same thing that Jon Snow said to why can't I think of her name right now? To his sister when she showed up, when he was sitting at the table.
To Sansa?
Yeah, to Sansa. He's like, I fought and I lost. Which was the same thing that dude who murdered him said to him. Right
Oh,
before-
interesting.
I
So
think
remember he
there's something-
said, do you have
Yeah.
any last words to say? And he's like, I fought and I lost.
Interesting.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I don't know why he
That's
did
right.
that.
Another cool storyline to come out of that, though, dude, and you guys know I'm bringing it up. My girl
There we
Brienne,
go.
dude, she's got a love interest.
That was like the
Oh, that
best
was
thing,
so
dude.
funny.
They're like,
Dude,
That was
she's gonna get.
hilarious.
That's just gonna be some weird loving going on, dude.
Well, her
But-
face, she was just like,
But
And then-
seriously,
Yeah,
speaking
babe.
of the reunion, man, do we have any more reason to hate our boy, the letter?
What?
The letter that Jon Snow got.
oh, Ramsay.
oh yeah. I was like, the letter? Who is this character he's speaking of?
Who's this new character?
I don't read these books.
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay is like probably the greatest villain right now in TV
Yeah.
history.
He's
You
so
you can't
boring.
not hate him, right?
Yeah.
Because
He's
it's
such
like,
a son of a bitch.
yeah, he totally is, and it's just like he's bad, and it's like okay, yes, we get that he's bad. Like,
He waited until that girl, like they were like legitimately like doing it before he slayed her. Like that's how evil that man is. Like he could have done it anytime he wanted. He was just like held on for a second there, and then slayed her. That was brutal.
one
The
moment.
thing I don't
Yeah.
get is
Just,
how,
let me. All right.
is how they were all of a sudden like hot. You know, like were they just hanging out at that dude's place the whole time, just chilling for a couple of years, or what?
Apparently, I didn't know that. I had no idea that the Umbers, but traditionally though, the Umbers are like super loyal to the Starks. So
Right.
I'm kind of, I know they're like, oh, my dad died, so I'm not going to be loyal anymore. But I'm like, everyone knows how crazy Ramsay is. So like, why would you switch allegiances like that unless there's some sneaky business going about? Because it just is strange to me. Like, the Northern Lords, especially reading in the history, Northern Lords are like super, super loyal to a fault, to the point where like it doesn't matter like any transgression that has happened to a point. Or like the Wall. The Wall's a joke now in the Westeros. Obviously we know it's not, but like the Northerners kept supplies going to the Wall for centuries, even after it was no longer like needed, because they're just loyal to tradition and loyal. Like, so it's kind of weird to me that Karstarks were like, or the Umbers, I think it was, sorry, were like, here's Rickon and Osha. Like, what? I didn't get this. It's Ramsay. You all know he's fucking crazy.
Only if you follow him on Twitter, dude. I mean, otherwise you have no idea that he's a psycho.
Dude, the guy was like, he killed your dad. Like, he knew I mean, everybody knows that he's psycho. They're like, you killed your father, and I'm not bowing to you. And like, so he listed all these reasons why he shouldn't be joining him, but then he's like, hey, I'm gonna join you, actually. Like,
Kind of a weird situation, yeah, dude. And I think
It's Littlefinger, man.
oh,
dude,
God.
Littlefinger's back, man, and he's teaching little boys how to fight.
Yeah, well, how weird is that?
It's a creep. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really,
Do you guys like Littlefinger?
Hey,
I love Littlefinger, dude.
Oh,
He's
hey,
okay.
look at my bird, little boy. Look at my bird.
He's such a
Ew.
good, like,
Ew.
sly character, I think,
he's
dude.
easy. He's just
Yeah.
awkward and uncomfortable.
You never know what he's up to and what he's planning. You kind of have an idea, and then he goes. And he always somehow makes it out alive. He's never dead. He's never hurt. He's never in a crazy battle. And he's always manipulating somebody and getting himself somewhere higher up. Like, you always think that he's going to get caught or put down. But no, he's got everything figured out. So I'm really fucking curious where this dude goes, because I feel like he's going to be the fucking Warden of the North, or like the king.
What? No
He's
way.
trying. He's trying for that.
Dude,
That's what he wants, but I don't know if it's going to
She's gonna
succeed.
kill him.
Yeah, he's gonna die a terrible death at some
I'm
point.
excited to see the Warriors of the Vale finally leaving the Vale, because they've been in seclusion this whole time. Like, they had no part of any of the battles going on, because the crazy mom was like, "No, don't leave! Suck on my boobies!" Like,
Dude, my question is, Chad, how did you feel about Brienne and Melisandre when Brienne was like, I killed him?
I thought it was awesome, but then that's where I was talking about earlier, when I was like, dude, no one we cared about has died. Me and Amy were talking, like, Melisandre is probably going to kill my Brienne. And then Tormund's going to get all pissed off because his lover, the girl he had a crush on, died. And that's going to cause some fucking craziness inside the Stark fucking army, dude.
Oh my god, I want to see her hold you in her arms and just carry you somewhere.
Just in the palm of her hand,
Yeah,
dude.
it's such a great thing to happen in my life.
Yeah,
oh
this-
my god, I want to see that too.
Amy, would you
there
fight
was
her
also
off?
another reunion.
Hell no, it'd be hilarious.
The Ironborn had a reunion too, dude.
Yeah. She's looking kind of haggard, by the
Old
way.
Theon and Yara.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even know who you're talking. You guys are saying foreign names to me. Like,
Where's Tristan?
Theon
describe what they
Greyjoy.
look like.
Yeah.
Greek.
Oh, dude. Oh
Guy
my
ran
god.
Oh yeah, that was like
Chopped off.
such a little
And
thing.
the sister that he ground. You gotta say the two weirdos on the horse. I'll always remember them from the horse ride to the castle, dude, and how weird that was
Yes.
after that scene played out, dude. That's how I always remember it, dude. Reeks. You just call him Reeks, dude. I get so confused. But yeah, she's like trying to make him kind of like. Well, she was trying to fucking figure out what the hell he killed her army for, but then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh shit! You said I can be the king.
Yeah,
I can be
I'm the king. Oh yeah, everything's
Alright.
good. Everything's good.
You're a nice dude now. I like you. I'll keep you
My
around."
other thing is, when are we gonna get more of the imp, dude? We need more dwarf.
You got to see a little of his conniving in action, where he
I
just throws
know,
whores
but-
at people to try and win them over.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here, take a handful of whores. Now you're gonna be friends."
I did like that the two people the worm guy and his friend were just like not having it. Miss Andy and the worm were just
Yeah.
like, this is ridiculous. I wonder where that's gonna lead actually.
I have
I
a feeling-
feel like they're kind of turning towards his angle a little bit, which is weird.
Well,
They lied for him essentially.
Grey Worm though was pretty PO'd. I think it's just because he's lost without a leader, so he's like, well, I guess I have to play along until somebody, commands me to do otherwise, because that's just how they are, how
You guys
the
think
Unsullied
Tyrion's
are.
right? Are you on Tyrion's side or are you against?
I'm always
him?
on Tyrion's side.
I'm
I-
Tyrion, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good. I loved his comment how he's like, we don't have slavery in Westeros, and I'm richer than you guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect, and it makes sense. Like to abolish something, yes, like it needs to be gone because slavery is wrong, but they have nothing to fill the void, and because there's nothing to fill the void, all of this like murder and bloodshed and everything was just happening because they had no balance. They had no way to figure out how to like fill the void of all the immediate like all the retail workers are suddenly not retail workers anymore, and you go to a store but you can't buy anything, whatever, like the chaos that would ensue, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes, especially if she brings back the Kala army, dude, with her. I mean, they got to go somewhere. They're travelers, dude. I mean, they got that big city, but she's gonna take them with her, and she's got to reunite with her squad back there. So I guess we'll find out how that all goes. But I did like that when she quoted Tyrion, and then she's like, "A wise man once said," and I was like, and that was exactly what Tyrion said, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! She really put fucking Tyrion over on that one." Dude.
She was just playing into his ego.
Putting his gimmick out there, dude. And then we also had the what was that? The Sparrow guy? Is that what his name is? With Marjorie in the dungeons, and yeah, dude, and he's gonna drag her through the city streets naked, and old mom's like, "Nope, dude, that ain't happening."
Cersei
that
and
was
Jaime.
kind of an interesting little thing. How all of a sudden they got the court to be on their side.
Smart. It was a smart move of Cersei. Like she's still got game. Like she's trying to work the system to get it in her favor. Because that there's some counterplay that's going to happen, like after she helps the Marjorie, and old lady, as Chad lovingly calls her.
Old mom, dude.
Old mom. After she helps them out, then there's going to be some kind of counterplay that she's got set up, or will be setting up to get them ousted out of the small council. I mean, it's just layers upon layers, It's at least I hope it is, because that'd be far more interesting than we work together.
Yeah,
dude,
we're
how
teammates.
about Marjorie's brother, dude, just fucking broken down.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was like how I would be.
yeah.
I felt so bad for him.
Feedled up.
I'm just like, I'm done. What do you want from me?
You've come to save me? No, I just
terrible
came here
life.
to stare at your body lying there lifelessly, dude. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes forward with those guys, especially with that happening. Do you think that Cersei's going to kill old mom? I actually feel like this episode should have subtitles, because I don't know how Tristan does it, but he knows every single fucking character's name on this show, and I can't remember anything. So
Notes, detailed notes. Tristan's a nerd.
Old mom.
old mom, dude. Old mom and Cersei, dude. I think she's gonna kill her because it gives that opportune time. Like chaos is going on in the streets, dude. Everyone's fighting. Things are going down.
No, Cersei isn't gonna kill old mom because old mom is single-handedly the reason why there's still food and supplies coming in.
That's what, yeah. Then I was talking about like how there's going to be another counterplay. Like she's going to do something to get her out of the council, or there's going to be something that happens so she is not as powerful as she is now, because Cersei does not like to play,
Yeah, like right now, old
second
mom's
best.
the most powerful person in all of King's Landing.
Yeah,
Because she's so fucking. I love listening to her
she's
talk.
cool.
She's
so
so
cool.
good, dude. Such a good character. Hey, so that kind of wraps up most of the storylines on this episode that we kind of cut through. If we missed something, dude, let us know down below. Make sure you guys let us know what you think of this. We're going to go around the table here and see what all the reviews are for the episode. I'm going to start with Sweener, man. What are you thinking for this guy right now?
I'm gonna give it a 4. It was really good. It was this episode of reunions, setting up for a lot of things with Yara and Theon, and now the Starks are going to go back to war. It's gonna be good.
It's a good time in King's Landing, dude.
Good time to be around. I'm gonna give it a 4 also. I thought it was really cool. The ending I thought was really good. You have a good ending, and you started really strong, and the middle stuff was okay. Yeah, 4.
It makes you forget some of the fluff, dude, but I didn't feel like there was a lot of fluff.
Yeah, I thought the ending was like a little cheesy. Like I thought the fire and the thing, just the way that it was filmed, looked kind of corny. But by the time they panned out and she was standing there and everyone was kneeling, I was like, whatever, dude, this is great.
And I think before I move on to the score that matters, I'm going to give my score, and then we can go on to the final score that everyone's been waiting for. I'm going to give it a 4 as well, dude. I think that everything, like you said, dude, it started off awesome. Dude, it touched on some cool stories that I didn't think were going to happen, and we get to see them happen. I didn't think Brienne would ever find love, but she's found it. And that
She
just
did
made
not.
Well, she doesn't know it yet.
A wink is basically, it's like first base.
She did not wink at him. She was like,
Who needs
No.
a Oh, sorry.
So I give it a 4. And Amy, what is your score for this episode of Game of Thrones?
I also give it a 4, only because I'm holding out for a
The
5.
Four Kingdoms.
I think that everyone has said great things. It's starting a whole bunch of new storylines, like with Daenerys, like what's going to happen? Is the Dragon's going to come back? Are they going to unite under her? It's with Tyrion and the Slavers. You know, is that going to like be finalized? Or are they going to like be like, screw you, Tyrion? Or is Daenerys going to back him when she comes back and be like, good move, or fuck you, man? With the Martells, with Marjorie and stuff, like the whole, how are they going to get her to not walk naked through the streets? And then with the Knights of the Vale coming out with Littlefinger, and then like, you know, the Wall and the Wildlings coming down, and like there's just so many new cool storylines opening up. I think it's a 4, and hopefully the next episode might be a 5, depending on what they do with all the
Hell of a
stories.
season up ahead. Holy crap.
Yeah.
All right, there you guys go, dude. That's the scores, dude. Amy's the only one that matters. Thank you so much for joining us for Game of Thrones, Amy. I
Of course,
appreciate
yeah.
it. Everyone looks forward to you on Game of Thrones. If you ever want to stick around for the rest of the show, you can let us know. But your outfit's not on point, so we're gonna have to get rid of you now.
Peace out.